developing inner mastery that leads to outer results, bringing benefit to our work and our world. That's the purpose of the Inner MBA. Welcome to Insights from the Inner MBA, wisdom from conscious business leaders. Today's episode features Chinedu Echeruo, a Nigerian-born successful serial entrepreneur. Chinedu co-founded HopStop, a popular app that provided users with travel directions for public transport in over 600 cities before he sold it to Apple in 2013. With the startups he's founded since then, Chinedu has focused on teaching entrepreneurship and creating new models for economic development. Here he talks about how empathizing with our customers and understanding the story of what they long to achieve is the key to creating entrepreneurial value. My name's Tammy Simon, founder of Sounds True. In this series, we present special teaching moments that carry illumination and breakthroughs, like lightning strikes that were delivered during the Inner MBA, an online immersion program created in collaboration with LinkedIn and Wisdom 2.0. The Inner MBA connects a global community from more than 90 countries, guided by a world-class faculty that includes innovative professors, leading CEOs, wisdom teachers, and conscious business trainers. We engage in the work of growth and transformation, elevating our ability to create business results that align with our deepest values. And now, here's Chinedu Echeruo on empathizing with customers to help their stories come true.
In my search for a guiding principle or philosophy, what I found is that what is my guiding principle is everybody's guiding principle, which is we all want our stories to come true. So there's a physics to that, but there's also a reality to that behavior, is that the point of our lives is to make our stories come true. We act in the world to make our stories come true. Every action we've taken is in the furtherance of our stories. For my beloved customer, what is the story they want to have come true? And if you understand that story, you now have the required empathy to design a solution, to design a proposition that will help them make those stories come true. So when I moved to New York, I was always getting lost in the kind of the web of the subway system. And so the terror of getting lost kind of caused me to, think about what's the solution to this problem. And that's how HopStop came to be. So HopStop solved the complexity of getting lost. How do I go from my location in Brooklyn to the Lower East Side, right? That's complexity. I don't have an answer to that question. So complexity is when you face a challenge, when you face an obstacle to your goal, when you don't know how to do something. That's complexity. I think my job is to slay complexity. Let me just go back to the traditional story, right? So there's a prince out there, and his story is to save the princess. And so that's a story he wants to have come true. But in between that story, an obstacle to that story is a monster. It's a dragon, the complexity dragon. So your customer is the prince. What the story they want to have come true is that they want to save the princess, or they want to save money, or they want to become a doctor, or they want to achieve a goal. And in between where they are now and their goal is some complexity. And what your product is and what a service to your customer is giving them a tool, a sword, forged strongly enough that they can slay that dragon in between them and their princess, between them and their goal. So that's what I refer to as complexity. When you land in an airport in a foreign country and you don't know how to get to your hotel, and you pick up your phone and you call Uber, Uber is the sword that slays the dragon that gets you to your hotel. So essentially, complexity for your customers can be measured in three ways. And this is some way to capture it. So the first one is they're frustrated by the speed at which something happens. So that's the first one, speed. The second way to measure complexity from your customer's perspective is where there's high unlikelihood of it, right? So where the probability of something is uncertain, right? So when something is volatile, so that's something that your customer also wants to reduce. And the third way that your customer measures complexity or problems is when there's a difference in like a relationship in price, some sort of waste, or when something is expensive. So speed, uncertainty, and price are three measures of uncertainty from your customer's perspective. And those are the things that they would want you to change from a product perspective. So you can think of services and apps as things that slay complexity for your customers. So that's why I generalize as my job is to slay complexity monsters, because in a way that's a generalization of problems. So my goal, my story, I think, is to generalize problems so that we can all slay them.
Listening to Chinedu, for me, is like entering a dream. The dream of the Sounds True customer. Why are they interested in spiritual wisdom and spiritual practices? What's the story they want to have come true? And how can we as a business remove some of the friction and obstacles in order to meet their unmet needs? I can't think of a better dream to enter as we design our products, pricing, and ease of access. The question I have for you is, what's the story of your customer? What dragons, in Chinedu's words, are they trying to slay? And how can you help them in their quest? Come join us at the Inner MBA and let's talk about it. This unique online immersion program brings together a community of executives, entrepreneurs, emerging leaders, and nonprofit professionals from around the world. The next cohort begins this September. You can learn more at innermba.soundstrue.com. Use the promo code INSIGHTS during your application and receive 15% off your tuition. With open arms, we welcome you to the Inner MBA, transforming ourselves, lifting up each other, doing all that we can so our work makes a difference.